Hey guys, welcome back. So in today's video, I'm going to be talking about my weekend of seeing the John Bishop Show live, going to the Winter Showmasters Comic Con in London, and also another event meeting one of the original Thals from 1963 to the Daleks. So without no further ado, let's get into it. So on the Saturday I went to the John Bishop show and I must say I really did enjoy it. Of course I discovered John Bishop from Doctor Who and from there I have really enjoyed him, so I thought why not go to the event, and I'm really glad I did because it was very funny. I was hoping for a Doctor Who story or two, which there was, which I'll be going into in a minute, but it was really great and it was actually great to finally go because I did buy these tickets a year ago, and actually when I did, John Bishop reposted it on his story, which I was so over the moon about, so it was really cool. And before I get into the Doctor Who stories, talking of Doctor Who, is it just me, or does the ceiling look like Dalek eggs? To me, it felt like they were Dalek eggs, which I thought was a nice touch. So I quite like that. But is it just me? Let me know if you could see it as well in the comments below. But no, I did really enjoy going to the John Bishop show. And of course, like I said, there were some Doctor Who stories. One of them was about the Dalek. I believe he was called Barry, who has been in the Dalek costume for about 15-20 years. He's known as Dalek 1. And about how he's very professional about it. They did a rehearsal and he was out of the costume. And he stood there like a Dalek, pretended to be the Dalek, with Nicholas Briggs right behind him doing the voices as well, and John Bishop said how professional they were but how funny it was. So that was a really cool funny story as well. And then also I believe it was Once Upon Time that this took place, where obviously John Bishop was actually had his gun and he was shooting, although it wasn't actually Dan in the story, it was more Carvanista, but John Bishop was sort of in the scene sort of with the gun shooting, and they said just pretend that the lasers are coming out of it, and then he was told you don't actually have to make the sounds with the shooting, that'll be added in the special effects. So that was a really funny story as well. So it was great to hear some stories from Doctor Who as well. And actually in his leaving message there was a shot of Barry the Dalek with Jodie Whittaker as well, which was a nice sort of touch. It was this picture, and I did really like to see Jodie Whittaker because I love Jodie Whittaker, so to have her involved in that was really cool as well, just for a brief moment. But no, it was really great to see, and if you ever get the chance to see John Bishop, definitely go, because I certainly enjoyed it, and fingers crossed for you there's a Doctor Who story in there too. Then the next day I headed down to London for the Showmasters Winter Comic Con, which I do really enjoy going to. And actually when I got to the station, I really did think, again, this looked like a Dalek as well. There's sort of a Dalek theme running through this video, and I'm not sure why. But is it just me, or does that look like a Dalek? I thought it was quite cool the way it was sort of running on its own with the flashing light at the top. Definitely felt like a Dalek to me, so I had to get a little video of that. That was just so funny, so cool that I had to sort of get a video and include that into the video. But yeah, really, really odd, but it was a cool little thing, so that was nice to see when I got to London. Now, as I promised in my last Comic Con video, I would say I would go cosplayed again as something different, and this time I was a bit disloyal to Doctor Who. I went with Back to the Future Marty McFly. Now, the reason I went with this is, one, because I do love his character, and two, when I was looking actually for my 11th Doctor cosplay, I did come across some really cool things for Marty McFly, so I did want to do this one. I'm glad I went with it because it's really cool, and I'll definitely be wearing this one again because I do really enjoy the costume. Of course, I got most of this stuff was from eBay. The jeans and actually the t-shirt did actually come from Primark, but the shoes, the hat, and all of that, and the jacket as well, did actually come from eBay. Different places. It did cost a bit of money, to be fair, but it was definitely worth it. Can't remember how much the hat was. I'm going to say about £20. The jacket was sort of about 40, and then the shoes were about 75. So obviously I've got the hat here to show you actually. And so this is the hat. I do really like it. It's quite cool. Not something I would probably wear in everyday life, but it was quite cool when it was a nice sort of touch, so I had that. Talking of the skateboard as well, actually, now this was actually quite a funny story behind it. Now, I was actually going to buy the actual hoverboard itself, but I just didn't get round to it, and I didn't really want to sort of lug it round, to be honest, because I had other things to go to that day. But the reason I had this skateboard is my family went to McDonald's. This is a really odd story. My family went to McDonald's and there was a Children in Needs raffle. So they entered it just for sort of fun to donate to charity. And actually the prize they won, which was really unusual considering I was going to the Comic Con the next day, was this skateboard, and I sort of saw it as a sign that, okay, now I have to bring it because that sort of goes with the cosplay so brilliantly. So it's sort of unusual and odd how that actually happened, but I thought that's definitely a sign. And actually I did get speaking to someone as well who I'll show a picture of. He was really great. He was also doing obviously a Back to the Future cosplay, and he was telling me about how you can actually sort of, there's videos on YouTube of how you can actually make your own hoverboard with a skateboard, so I'll definitely be looking in to see if I could do that, because that'd be a really great idea. I mean, I've literally got it, could start from scratch, it's basically bare, this thing, so I can actually do that, which would be quite cool, so that might be my next project, like I've done my TARDIS. So that would be really cool. But yeah, that was the skateboard and the hat as well. Then, of course, I bought the shoes as well, which are quite cool because I've always wanted to own these shoes ever since I started getting into Back to the Future in about 2015 when it was the 30th anniversary. So I was really glad that I bought these. Again, I got these off eBay, but I think they look really cool, actually. I do absolutely love these. And the great things about these is they're chargeable as well, so they do actually light up. There's a part where you sort of plug it in. I don't think I'll be able to show in the video, but there is a part that you plug it in, and this is where you can turn the button on, so you can actually power them up. So obviously that's them without the light, and if I can just get to the button... There we go, so it's got 3 settings, so it's one like that, one that sort of flashes, and then a quick flash as well. I personally like it when they're just like that. It looks really good in the dark. The video does show it quite well, to be fair, but it looks even better in person, which is quite cool. So that's quite cool, the thing. Oh yeah, there's the flash and there's that. So they're really cool shoes, to be fair. I do absolutely love them. And actually a funny story as well. I was walking home from the event after Comic Con, and there was a guy outside the pub, and he shouted, "Look, there's Marty McFly," even though I had a coat on, so all they could see was the jeans and the shoes. So it just comes to show how sort of like iconic these shoes are, and they are really cool, to be fair. I do absolutely love these, so I'm glad that I do finally own them because I think they're absolutely cool, and I definitely will be going to a Comic Con in this cosplay again because I don't feel like I got a lot of time at the sort of the Comic Con this time. I went for a Sunday for a change because I couldn't obviously go on the Saturday because of John Bishop. I did really enjoy the Comic Con. There were some great people there, but it felt very quiet. It didn't feel like the other Comic Cons. So I did really enjoy it, but it just didn't feel like the other ones. And I feel like, not that the costume was wasted, but I didn't really get to see many people do a lot of things. And I wasn't there for that long this time, so I definitely want to give it another run, especially because I really like the cosplay. But the Comic Con itself was really great. They had some Doctor Who stalls like usual, which was really great. I got some Doctor Who bits that I'll be showing in a minute, so it was great to have those stalls. They didn't have any mystery bags, which is a shame, because last time I went I really did enjoy buying the mystery bags because they were such brilliant value. Maybe they were there on the Saturday. Were you there on the Saturday? Did you manage to buy a Doctor Who mystery bag? Let me know in the comments below. But yeah, great stalls, great some Doctor Who bits. I felt I got some Doctor Who bargains as well, which is brilliant. But yeah, great Comic Con, don't get me wrong. I didn't have time to see anyone either. So again, it was a very quick con because I had something to attend to in the evening. So I'm definitely looking forward to the March one. But this Comic Con just didn't feel the same. And I did hear from some other people that they didn't have a great experience with this Comic Con. So it didn't feel like it went amazingly. But still, it was enjoyable. So as mentioned, there were some Doctor Who stalls which was really great to actually go to. There was one that was sort of like a reduced Doctor Who stall which I haven't really seen before, which was quite cool. And they did have some absolute bargains as well. One bargain that I picked up was actually this. It's Doctor Who postcards. You get 100 postcards. You probably won't be able to see much there, but you get about 100 postcards, which was originally apparently £15, and it was only £5, and it does come in this really great box as well. So I thought for £5 that's an absolute bargain, so I had to buy that. And they did have some really great deals on at that one, so I really did enjoy getting that from that. Then there was the other Doctor Who stall, the sort of like main one that's there all the time. I did actually pick up 3 bits from that one. So the first thing I bought, which I thought wasn't bad for £10, was actually the American version of the Doctor Who 13th Doctor figure. Of course, I'm a big 13th Doctor fan, so I had to get this, and I have sort of always wanted to own one, and I thought buying this just there for £10, not having to pay any sort of shipping fees anywhere else, I thought to me was a bargain. So I was really pleased that I managed to get my hands on that one, because that's something that I haven't consciously thought about buying in the past, but I would definitely actually want to have. So I was really pleased I picked that up, actually. I was really happy with that one. Another thing I picked up as well, which they had at 2 stalls. One stall was actually selling it for £20, one was actually selling it for £10. So always make sure you look round at the Comic Cons just so you make sure you get a good deal. It was actually this Cyberman pillow, which will also go great with my TARDIS pillow behind me. It doesn't work properly. I don't know if you could be able to hear this, but if I can actually find the bit to press. Where are we? Yeah, there we go. Needs new batteries, but apart from that, it will be absolutely fine. It's quite cool, to be fair. I think there's a Dalek one as well, I'm not sure. But it's a cool little silly thing. I've seen these about before, so I thought, why not? Why not? My mum picked it up for me, actually, because she wanted to buy me something from there, because it was the first time she went to a Comic Con as well, so she picked that up for me. But yeah, really nice little thing, just needs new batteries, that's all. But quite cool how it lights up, that's quite unusual. And then the final thing, again, my mum got this for me as well, was actually this. She found some of these different versions. I believe it was the 10th Doctor 1 and a 12th Doctor 1 in some charity shops. So she picked up this one. I can't remember how much this one was, £2.50 or £5, possibly £5. But this one's in the plastic, so it's brand new as well. So that was really cool. So yeah, I did pick up a few Doctor Who bits, which is really nice because it's always great to have them and sort of like a memory of the Comic Con. So yeah, really pleased with the bits I picked up. Just wish there were some mystery bags because I definitely would have loaded myself up with some of them. But no, really great that I got all this stuff. And in total, the Comic Con was really good. For me, it was very short, very brief, and I didn't get to see a lot of people. So that's a shame. But again, I did enjoy it, and I am looking forward to going to the one in March. Now, the reason my mum went to the Comic Con is actually because I took her down to London as well, because I actually bought her tickets for her birthday to the Cellar Club Live. The Cellar Club is sort of an event that happens on Freeview Channel 82 Talking Pictures TV, and it's presented by Caroline Munro, and it sort of like shows all the sort of like Hammer horror movies from like the 60s, 70s, 80s, all that sort of thing, and it's really great. It includes Peter Cushing, who of course actually played a Doctor at one stage, so she really enjoys that, so I wanted to take her to the first ever Cellar Club Live, and it was a really great night to go to. Of course, we met Caroline Munro, who actually has been in Doctor Who, sort of. She was in the audio drama Omega in 2003, which I do need to listen to eventually. So she has technically been in Doctor Who, so it was great to actually meet her. And we also got some signatures from her, which I'll show in a minute. But also, as a sort of special guest as well, which was quite a surprise to me, I only found out when I got there, was actually an original Thal from 1963's The Daleks with William Hartnell, which is really great. Her name's Virginia Wetherell, and it was really great to meet her as well. I got a signature from her, got to get a picture of her and meet her, which was absolutely lovely. So that was a lovely surprise, and she spoke a bit about Doctor Who and her time filming on that. So that was a lovely surprise. It was a nice Doctor Who touch, which I completely did not expect. So it was absolutely lovely to have that, and it was a really great night, to be fair. Really enjoyed it. It was at the Phoenix, Cavendish Square, and it was a really great night, and I really did enjoy it, and so did my mum, so that was brilliant. So this was the signature from Caroline Munro. Again, lovely to meet her. She's a lovely lady as well, so really cool, and I hope to meet her again. And like I said, she's been in Doctor Who, so it is sort of related to Doctor Who, which is quite cool. So it was actually great to have that as well. And the other one as well, for the Doctor Who actor, they did actually have a Doctor Who picture to actually sign as well, and this is where you can see who she was. So obviously that's William Hartnell right there in front of the TARDIS with her character as well, and she did sign it, which is really great. I'm really glad that I managed to get the Doctor Who picture as well, because that's just so cool. And actually, a funny story about what's in front of it there, she did actually say it looks like a lawnmower to me, and I said it probably was, because we all know Doctor Who back then was made on quite a budget as well, especially back in 1963. So yeah, that was quite funny. But again, it was lovely to meet her as well. She was absolutely great, and it was of course great to have a Doctor Who picture and get it signed as well, because that was something I completely did not expect. So it was a really great night, to be fair. I really did enjoy it, and it was a busy weekend, but I certainly did have fun seeing John Bishop, getting to meet Caroline Munro and Virginia Wetherell as well. It was absolutely lovely, and it was a really great weekend. Very busy, but really great to have all these Doctor Who things happen as well. So it was a really great weekend that I just wanted to sort of like mention here and sort of vlog about it, to be fair, because again, I do like to sort of document it and share it with you guys as well. I mean, did you lot go to the Comic Con? How did you think it went? Did you enjoy it? What were your thoughts on it as well? And have you actually seen John Bishop live as well? I'd love to know, so let me know in the comments below. But as always, thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video, and hopefully see you in my next video soon. Thank you for watching, and take care.